Welcome, millionaires and billionaires. As always, I aim to bring you truth, knowledge, and understanding to assist you in your journey through crypto. So, guys, as promised before, of starting the course for the trading course, which is titled "Teach a Man How to Fish." So, this is the first video, which is the first lesson. So these are going to be titled How to Trade, Teach a Man How to Fish, Lesson 1, Lesson 2, Lesson 4, and so forth. So we'll be looking mostly at the charts and get an idea, get an understanding of, how to determine if a crypto is going up, if a crypto is going down, if it's going to consolidate, or that way you don't have to keep holding the bag. You know when to get in the market, when to get out of the market. You continue to accumulate and build your bag during this bull run, because every pump will always come with at least a 50% correction. So you can double your bag or even triple your bag every time by selling at the top and buying the dip. So I've started the channel a while ago, months ago. One of the purpose was to help people sell at the top and buy the dip. So this is a more in-depth understanding and overview of the markets, how it functions, how it runs, so people may understand better. So what we're going to do, for instance, we'll get into that a little bit later. Well, just to introduce this is most of you guys already know about this project, which is the Ghost Ledger. It's a privacy wallet where it conceals your transactions, your transactions, and it prevents people from seeing what's in your wallet as well. So it's a privacy wallet. So if you haven't heard about it, do join the Telegram, and we already have, I believe, roughly about 400 members in Telegram. It's living up to the name, the fastest growing Telegram group. So we will continue to grow. Just a few days we were at 30 subscribers. In a matter of a few days we've grown to 400 to 500 members, and we will continue to grow, guys. I don't see this group being less than 10,000 members within the next few weeks or so. So this project, it's the most, and well, it's giving a need where people didn't really know the need existed, but showing them that it is out there, which is a wallet that it's a privacy wallet, first ever privacy crypto wallet, multi-chain. It gives you the privacy of keeping your transactions, your wallet to yourself, just as you keep your bank account to yourself. You don't share it with anyone else. This is the same concept, but in the crypto. So like I said, it's revolutionizing the crypto space, and I do see this project getting into the billion market cap very easily and quickly. So if you're not in the group, I would say do join the Telegram group, and also follow the Twitter, guys. You don't want to miss out. So all the information is on the website, but if you do have any questions, there's admins in the Telegram group that will answer your questions. So we'll jump into the chart, guys. As we can see, most charts once we look at the markets we'll use Bitcoin as a reference, because every crypto moves together, so the charts will always somehow look similar. So Bitcoin moves first because it has more volume, and then the rest of the coins pump. So for instance, if some group decided they were just going to pump a similar just a general token, the chart would look the same. Even if that coin pump first, then Bitcoin follows, then the chart would look similar because it has to create the patterns, and the pattern has to be the same because everything in the universe is connected. So I also find myself in patterns as well, and cycles. For example, I could, let's say if I took a flight somewhere last year to a different country, then the next year would I will find myself taking a flight on the same day to maybe the same country or a different country. So if you look at things like that in your life, you will notice the patterns. So this is how you can predict your future, by seeing the patterns, and you can expect the next cycle to be greater than the previous cycle. So this is how you can predict your future, not just your future, but the future in general, because if you look at patterns, and you can see there's going to be many possibilities because the future is constantly changing. So the only time you have the opportunity to change your future is to begin in thoughts. So once the thoughts is there, it starts in the mind. Then once the thought is there, then that's the only time you have in creation of that future, because it's similar to like creating a cake, or creating a meal. So in the process of accumulating the recipe, putting the recipe together, adding water, and adding other ingredients, flour, sugar. This is the process of you creating that cake. So that's the same process of you putting the thoughts together, as far as the same way you put ingredients together. So let's say if you put positive thoughts with another positive thoughts, then you creating that future by putting these thoughts together. So once you are experiencing the future or the present moment, that's why you can't change it, because you've already created it in the mind. So in order for you to change that specific future, that specific moment, when you arrive in the moment, the only way for you to change that circumstance, what you are experiencing at the present moment, is for you to go back in the mind. You would have to go back in the past, because you've already had those thoughts in the past. Either, I'm not sure if some people do create their life on a subconscious level, they're not aware of it. And this is how, when the circumstances happen to them, they don't understand why it's happening. They would say, why is this happening to me? It's because they've associated the thoughts with themselves. By choosing the thoughts, they've subconsciously created that future. And then once they're experiencing the moment, which was the future, then they can't change the circumstance they're experiencing, because they've already decided on a thought and chose that thoughts. So this is why it's key to monitor your thoughts. Okay, so the chart here, guys, like I said, the course is not just going to be about charts. It's also going to be about, among other things, we can discuss topics, and as far as sharing knowledge goes. So Bitcoin is getting ready for, it's doing a correction on a 3-day. It's doing let's get the marker here. I can show you better. So it's doing a small correction. I won't say it's a retracement. It's doing a retracement first. Okay, let's go. I have to go back to basics as far as understanding the charts, so that way to make it easier, because the goal is to teach it in a way where even a 5-year-old can understand the charts and how to read it, how to trade with it. So we'll go back to very basics. So what you want to do is we'll be using Dex tool as a when it comes to charts for the course. So my computer is a little bit lagging, so don't mind that. So okay, so what you want to do is, once you pull up any graph, I would say put your, here you can choose which time frame you would like. So personally for me, I like to look at the 5 minutes, the 15, the 1 hour, 4 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour, 12 hours. Throughout the only thing I don't really pay attention to is the lower time frames. Barely do I even look at the 5 minutes. Then I start. You can have your entries on even the 1 minute. When you enter on the 1 minute time frame, that's sniper entries. So your position can't go below too much. Let's say if you took a long, your position cannot go too far. It can't deviate less than, in a certain percentage. I would say more than 10%, 10 to 20% in the opposite way. So the closer you choose your entries, then the less is your position's gonna be moved the opposite way. So I would, for you guys, I would say you can choose the same time frame if you like, but some people will find themselves trading on different time frames. So what I do recommend, guys, is swing trading. This is what I do, swing trading. Only look at the higher time frames and trade on the higher time frames. It's a lot less stressful, and you don't have to constantly look at your phone, or you can enjoy your day and enter a trade in a few days later, close the trade, or even a week later close the trade. But it depends on what the market is doing. So let's do this. Okay, once you decide on the time frame you want to look at, then, because what's happening on a lower time frame is a bigger picture of what's happening on a higher time frame, because the patterns repeat themselves on each time frame, so they are very similar. So for example, let's do this. For example, this is the 3-day chart, you can see how it moves. Then you're gonna see the same pattern repeat themselves on a 1 minute time frame. It's gonna be similar. So in a later video, I'll go more in depth about that. Let's remove this. Okay, so after you decide on the time frame, the next thing you want on your graph is I trade with the Bollingers because it's more easier to understand. Not just that, is because it's connected with nature. So nature is never wrong. So if something is connected to nature, then obviously what is going to be displayed on the graph is going to be very accurate. So I use the Bollinger Bands, and I use the MACD. Let's see here. Okay, I use the MACD, which is this here. I'll teach you guys, show you guys how to set it up in the next video. Right now we'll just go over the basics, which is just the first lesson, similar to how you just first entered a grade school. The first day, there's nothing that's being taught. It's just going over the syllables and what to expect in the course, and so forth. So I'll teach you guys how to set this up. I'm going to try to keep it to each video at least under 30 minutes or less. So it's going to be compact with a lot of information. So the next thing you want to put on your chart will be the Bollinger Bands. You can change the color as you see fit. What we're going to be mainly focused on, like I said, most people complicate trading with so many different indicators. You don't really need all that stuff. All you really need is just 2 or 3 good indicators. So I only use pretty much most of the time 2 indicators, the MACD and the Bollinger Bands. So the Bollinger Bands are these bands that's running around the chart here. You can change the color as you see fit as well. I just choose yellow because it's easier to see through, I guess, in a way. So like I said, I'm gonna next video I'll explain to you guys how to set the Bollinger Bands up. Then that's pretty much all you really need. Change the colors, and that's the only edit you should really be doing. So for example here, let's do this. Okay, you always going to watch for price. When price I'm not sure if I should cover this now because it's more about teaching, so we'll save the teaching for the next videos. Right now we'll just go over what's going to be in the course, how the course is going to be structured, and what to expect. So we're going to be having, I would say, per week it's going to be I will probably just do 2 or 3 videos a week explaining with the course, but I will be busy, so sometimes it'll probably be 2. And like I said, this is the perfect time to help you guys to understand the charts, because the bull run is here, guys. You don't want to be caught at the top. And just like, I'm pretty sure most of you already went through this, where when you first got into crypto and market was pumping, then you thought, hey, yeah, everyone's making money, I'm just gonna jump in and make some money with everyone else. And then you just entered, and then everything just started crashing. And then that's pretty much, you've entered at the top. You don't want to be entering at the top like this. So that's when you get out, and then you wait when everything bottoms out, like how everything is now, then you buy everything back up, and then you keep, because those patterns are always going to repeat themselves. Let me show you that on the chart here, so that way you get a better understanding. I'm going to show you how you get the dips. Well, this is more teaching again, so it'll just be brief. Okay, there's not a whole chart here, so we'll use this as an example. Bitcoin on the 3-day chart. Okay, this is one cycle or one pattern. You see, imagine buying here, and then you rode the wave up, and then you sell at the top here, and then that's at least a 50% drop. So after the drop, you buy back again, then you ride the pump back up, which is Bitcoin at 70,000, 69,000, and then you get out. And then once you would probably end up buying here. And then once you see it attempts to go up, then it rejects, and then you sell, and then you wait at the bottom again. So what the Bollinger Bands will tell you when price is going to reverse. The Bollinger Bands will tell you how far it's going to move up before correcting. And each pattern have to be formed. Each cycle have to be formed because it's the law of nature. Everything is connected. So nothing is outside of the universe. So nothing is outside the law of the universe. So this is why everything, because the universe regulates everything. So in order for, something like that to happen, for the universe to regulate everything, it has to be set in stones, not in the stones, but it has to be set into law as how this should function, how this should operate, and it should just repeat itself. So the universe should not always constantly monitoring or making changes. So it's just running on its own. Similar to how you program a computer to do a certain task, it's the same way. The computer can keep repeating, and repeating. So, like I said, the main purpose of this first video is to briefly go over what's gonna happen, what we're gonna discuss. So the next episode will be episode 2, and then we'll go into setting up the chart, setting up the Bollinger Band, setting up your indicators. Usually it doesn't take that long, just a few minutes. And then we'll go over more in depth of how to read the Bollinger Bands and the MACD, which is the only two real indicators I really use. So until the next time, guys, don't forget to join the Ghost Ledger Telegram, and I'll see you in the next video, guys, in the next course episode. Peace.